Hello.
I hear him, but I don't see him. There he is. What's going on, my friend?
Nothing much. How about you?
Good. Jovan Stepanović is joining us right
Yeah,
now. How is my pronunciation, though?
that one was great.
Okay, but I want you to say your name, and then I'll try to even get the accent and the dialect. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. So it's Jovan Stepanović.
Okay, see, because it's spelled with a V, so I would say Jovan, but that's not
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it is. It is Jovan.
Jovan.
It's not Jovan.
Okay, but your Instagram name is Johan.
Yeah, that's just my nickname back at home.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your summer. Did you go back home, or what have you been up to over the past like 6 to 7 months?
Yeah, I went home right after like when Corona started coming in Canada or whatever. So the first weekend we found out that like college is going to transfer to online lecturing and all that stuff. I was just like, well, if I can go home until the borders are closed, so I can go from like study from home. And then I asked all of my instructors, and they were okay with it. So it was Sunday when we got an email that everything will be online at the college, and on Wednesday I had a flight, so I went straight home on Wednesday. But whilst I was flying, like midair, Serbia decided to close borders. So when I landed in Amsterdam, where I kind of have to connecting flight, there was no connecting flight. Our flights got canceled. Every flight from all over the world coming to Serbia, they were canceled. So I was kind of by myself there for first hour and a half, and I was just running around the airport, and I was confused. I didn't know where to go because, like, there's nothing you can do about it. And then I was talking to my mom, and I started like I was pissed off. I was really mad. And then one guy was like, "What's wrong?" And he was talking in Serbian. I was like, "Oh, thanks God, thank God!" Like it's one of the Serbian like. And then he had a couple of his friends, so they were students in U.S. from Serbia. So I kind of went with them, and from then on, you're not alone. So basically, we spent around 2 days at the airport, and to be honest, it was kind of like sketchy because there was no airplanes, and like in evening, there's nobody. There's like 50 people in the whole airport, and airport is like huge. That's one of the main ones in
Hmm.
Europe. And there was some rumors they're gonna close out that airport, so they're gonna send like departures or something like that. So that was kind of scary, but we posted a video online on Instagram, and went viral in like a couple of like minutes, like 30 minutes maybe, half an hour. I had like 70,000 views, and like celebrities were sharing, like students in from Serbia were stuck in Amsterdam, please help, please help. And basically they sent private like government sent like private airplanes so they can get us. And then
Wow.
yeah, we came back. So we kind of flew
Wow.
first class back, that was kind of
So,
cool.
who was the most famous person that retweeted that or helped spread the word? Because, I mean, if it had that many views right away, somebody really important must have seen that and
Or
shared it.
yeah, there was two singers. They shared it. There was one basketball player from our national team. He played. I don't know if he played in NBA. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Wow.
And there was one page that like Serbian page that like it's funny comedian page, and they have a lot of followers, so they kind of shared it. And it was kind of cool. They messaged us, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" And there was like I won't lie to you, it's just like around 80. I got 80 like DMs. Like, do you need anything from people that are from Netherlands, but they're like from Serbia, if you know what I mean. They live in
Sure.
Netherlands. So they were like, if you need anything, just please let us know. But we couldn't get out of airport. Like nobody could get us
Mm.
to like come to us, or we couldn't go in country, like because they didn't let anybody except their own citizens go in the country. So yeah, and then we had a month. of quarantine back at home. So you have to stay at home for a month.
A month.
Yeah.
Well, that's before we really knew a whole lot about it, right? So
Yeah.
so the air travel itself, I mean, that must have been really stressful. I mean, at that point, we didn't know what this was, right? We didn't know
Yeah.
what was going on, and we didn't know if this was going to be like a civilization ending event. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
that's
we had no
true.
idea, did we?
Yeah, that's true. It was just like I was in Calgary. I was traveling with James, if you know him. He's from South Africa.
Okay.
So I lived with him like last year, and just before, like I was in at the gate in
Hmm.
Calgary, and like 30 minutes before our like flight, I got in like Google notification, and it said your flight got canceled from Amsterdam to Serbia. And then I called like my agency, the like traveling agency, and they were like, "No, it's not canceled. There's nothing like
Hmm.
um, online that it says it's canceled." Blah blah blah. And she said that my boarding pass is my like proof that my flight is not canceled. So my mom told me, "You like, I suggest you stay in Canada because you don't know how you're gonna come back."
Hmm.
My dad told me, "Well, if you don't go in that play, you'll never like you won't come to Serbia anytime soon."
Hmm.
And my brother was like, "Oh, go for it." And I was like, "Oh, I'll go for it. Like I have to come back home." You know
Yep.
what I mean? They
Yep.
won't kind of let me stay in Amsterdam for 3 months, right? So I kind of went home. It was kind of risky. It was risky because all the time when I was like midair, it was just like, am I going to have that flight? Is
Yep.
there any like any other flight I can get? But there was no other flight.
Jovan, do you know what this sounds like? This sounds like you
Yeah,
had a
that movie.
no, no, no,
No,
no, no, no, no, no. This sounds like you have a girlfriend back there that you needed to go back to see. That's what it sounds
that's
like.
true.
It
That's
sounds
true.
like you're in love and you needed to get back. That's what I'm picking up from this whole conversation
Yeah,
here.
that's true. I have a girlfriend back at home.
I
Yeah,
knew it.
I really miss her. That was one of the main reasons too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I figured that out.
There you go. See,
Yeah,
I can read you like a book. Okay, so your hometown is Požarevac in Serbia. Is that correct?
yeah. It's
Um,
pronounced Požarevac.
po, slower. Požarevac. Požarevac.
Požarevac.
Požarevac. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, it's uh, it's very similar in size to Medicine Hat, but
and no, it's not really. It's kind of smaller, but a
well,
lot
yeah,
of like more people.
but that's what I was going to say. I was going to say like um, it's similar, but I hear that European cities are a lot more compact, right? So it probably
Yeah,
feels a lot smaller. Am I right on that? Is that kind of right
yeah,
that a lot of these European cities are just much closer?
yeah. That's true. Like they're really kind of like um, I don't know how to say it. It's not like spread it out like Medicine Hat or any other cities.
Hmm.
It's just you can for in my city you can go from one side to another side in like 25 minutes walking, basically, like fast
Wow.
paced. So it's not that big, but you have like 70,000 people, which is kind of not that good. There's people all over around.
Yep. So in that regard, then, um, would it not have been safer to stay? I mean, here in Canada, physical distancing is so easy, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you could go a week without coming in contact with anybody, really. I mean, we've got so much space, right? So
yeah.
it's kind of interesting. So because it's more compact, does that mean that there's less parks? People don't have big yards the way we do here, or like
They do.
why is it so small and compact?
I'm not really sure. We have parks. We have like my city has a huge hill,
Okay.
which is kind of it's the thing that like about Russians that died in war. So it's kind of like I don't know how you call it though. It's just
Like a monument or a
yeah, yeah,
memorial,
yes,
you
yes.
know?
That's the
Okay.
thing. It's kind of like the it's supposed to represent the Russian and Serbian soldiers that died in the World War II, I think.
Okay.
So it's like a huge hill, and it's like you can go for a walk. You can go. There's like teams running and having workouts there. You have street workouts. People walking their dogs. We have we have City Park, and it's
Yeah.
one of the bigger ones in our area. So I don't really know how it's kind of. We just have a lot of buildings, I think,
Hmm.
because in Medicine Hat there's just houses and they're like aligned in like blocks.
Yeah.
But in Serbia you have like random buildings like 6, 7 floors. So maybe that's the thing. I'm not really
Right.
sure.
So, okay, so there's a big memorial to Russian soldiers that were lost, but it's a democratic country now, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it is.
what are the thoughts about communism now? Now that that whole era has ended, do people still look back with a degree of pride in the history there, or like what? How would you describe that?
I'm not really sure about that communism, all that stuff, because I wasn't born when that thing was kind
Hmm.
of there, you know what I mean? But
But I mean,
I don't know.
here, for example, I mean, we look back on our soldiers and our military and all the wars they fought in with immense pride, and
Yeah, yeah,
we consider them national heroes for the sacrifices that they gave. Right? If you're a democratic country right now, are they still looked upon with just that pride and that national, as national heroes?
yeah. Like, because Serbia had a lot of wars, you know what I mean? So everything was kind of looked at as they were heroes.
Hmm.
Because there was like again, there was a war against Turkey, like Turkey Empire. There was a war against Austro-Hungarian Empire. There was a war against Germany, against like a lot of like nations.
Hmm.
So all of those kind of soldiers were, I mean, they are valued as heroes in Serbia. Like my dad went to two wars, like 1990 and 1999, I think. I'm not sure about 1990,
Hmm.
1990, sorry. But he went to two wars, for example, like, and they are valued as like war heroes and all that stuff. But nowadays, it's kind of, a lot of time passed by. So we have
Hmm.
kind of days
Yep.
where you have a pay a respect for them.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
basically, yeah.
now, your hometown is hundreds and hundreds of years old. The history there is incredible. In fact, if you go back
Yeah.
far enough, the area that you're from was originally part of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Is there any Roman artifacts there? Is there any signs whatsoever that are
Yeah. Yeah.
that show
Um,
that kind of history there?
yeah. My dad is working as a, he drives miners into coal mines. So it's just like 20 minutes away from my city, 30 minutes. And close at that, it's another city there. It's called Kostolac. So in that city, you have a whole, like, basically museum where
Hmm.
you have like rooms where Roman kind of um, people lived there, and you have skeletons. How do you call that? It's just
Skeletons, or yeah,
skeletons. Yeah.
sure,
So
okay.
you have yeah, you have those things. You have uh, tombs, right? You
Hmm.
call that?
Yep.
Yeah, all that stuff. But I've never went there. That's You should blame my dad for that. I don't know. I'm
I
not
would
really
love to.
sure.
I would love to go and check that out. All right, so we've talked a lot about everything other than volleyball. So let's jump right into
Yeah.
volleyball here. Tell us your volleyball story. When did you start playing, and talk to us a little bit about how you eventually ended up here in Canada playing volleyball.
Oh, well, so when I was a kid, I always wanted to play soccer because my dad was a goalkeeper and he was a kid. And I don't know, soccer was like kind of most common sport in my kind of city. I don't know. Kids were playing soccer all the time, and I always wanted to play it. But my mom was like, "You're too clumsy to play soccer. Like kids will hit you. Kids will like kick you. You're gonna cry, blah blah blah." And she said, "You're gonna play volleyball because there's no contact in between like your opponent." So I was second grade when I went to first practice, and you're as a kid, you don't do anything special, but I didn't really like it at all. Like I hated it
Okay.
because you're small, you're not like that tall, you cannot even hit over the net. Your like hands hurt, your arms hurt, like it's not that good. So after a couple of like, let's say, year or 2 years, I was like fourth grade. I kind of started getting better at it, and I was like transferred to the better section where like older guys played. And since then, basically, I just got better. And in seventh grade, I met my second coach, which like I owe him everything. Like he was like let's say third parent to me. Like, I
Mhm.
grew up with him. So he told me I showed up on his practice without even asking or anything, and he was like, when he saw me kind of playing and all that stuff, he said, "Well, you're gonna come to my practices from now on." And then I was assisting all the other like older players that now play for a national team of Serbia, but like in seniors for a year or 2 years, and I had to kind of like just check the balls and watch him play, watch him practice. And then my time came, and basically one summer I worked with him, and that summer I got invited for national team, and then I went there. I was the only guy that was new to the team. And
Mhm.
then we went playing Balkan championships. We went to European championship. We played Russian like tournaments. So I flew like, thanks to the national team, I flew first time with airplane. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And yeah, it was a great experience. And then I was kind of this like, I was practicing since I was 14 with our pro team in my city. So they play first league. And since I was a 14, I kind of signed some kind of contract that kind of attaches you to that team. And from like as the time went by, they didn't really show kind of, not like respect, but you know, they didn't really care about younger players. They
Mhm.
wanted to like bring somebody who's older, who's going to give them results right away instead of kind of investing in like younger players. And that's not just the case with me. I bet that was the case with Alexa. That was the case with my friends back at home right now.
Mhm.
And we were, me and Alexa are roommates at national team. We were roommates every time. So it was August. We played Balkan Championship, and I asked him like, "What are you gonna do after you graduate high school?" Like, because everybody is planning on going probably to like faculty or something like that. He's like, "Man, I'll maybe go to college in Canada." And I was like, "Whoa, like how?" And he's like, "Well, there was one coach, he saw me playing, and he asked me like if I wanted to come to like Medicine Hat and play." That was
Mhm.
Mark. That was Mark Porter. I was like, "That's cool, man. I hope you go there and like everything will be fine." And then in January 2019, yeah,
Mhm.
2019, I was like, "Man, I'm not really sure what I want to like study after high school. You know, either, but if you study something after high school, like faculty, you cannot play volleyball. That's the system basically.
Mhm.
Either you go and play pro, or you go to school. You stick to school. But in my country, you cannot live out of volleyball, and it's really hard. Not in just my country, but like most of the countries, you have to be like top player.
Mhm.
But if you finish your school in Serbia, again, that's not a guarantee you're gonna have a job. And then I was like, maybe I can go to college because like your system is made for like athletes, so they can finish their like academics and play on a high level, which is the thing that I needed like in that moment, and
Mhm.
I still like need it right now. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna send a bunch of emails to um like colleges and universities in US and Canada. And I
Mhm.
asked Alex, I called him on his phone and I said, "What's the college name? Where you going?" And he told me Medicine Hat College. And I went there. I found Mark's Porter email. I messaged him. I said that I knew Alexa. I heard from Alexa about Medicine Hat College. And I knew Nicholas here as well. I
Mhm.
played against him and Alexa as well in the league. So I messaged him. I told him I play like left side, blah, blah, blah. I play national team. And he was like, all right, I'm kind of interested, but right now I don't have a spot for you. I was
Mhm.
like, okay, I'm just gonna like try and find something else if that doesn't work out. And one day he called me and he says, look, one guy kind of like he's not coming, so I have one open spot for you. Would you come? I didn't even ask my mom and dad. Nobody. I said yes. I said just yes. I wasn't thinking about it. And then I came like back. They were kind of in the kitchen eating, and I was like, Coach called me and he asked me if I wanted to come. So I said yes, and they were just looking at me like, whoa.
Wow.
And then after that, it just happened. You have to get a visa, and then me and Alexa were kind of going around and finding out stuff. How are we gonna come to Canada? What do we need? And all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty good experience.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing story. I love it. So Alexa last week had talked a little bit about how the transition from the European style of play to the North American style, he actually struggled a bit off the bat. How did you find the transition, and did you find it quite easy? And like, what is the difference between the styles? Because Alexa, he had a tough time putting a finger on it. What would you say the difference between North American and European volleyball is like?
The thing, European volleyball is more kind of, at the same time, is more strict, but allows players to play their own style. So even if, I don't know, if you're not doing something technically good, but you're doing it somehow, in European volleyball, they're just gonna let it like fly. You know, it doesn't affect, if it doesn't affect your game, you're gonna like, you can play with it. But when we got here, it's just like, of course, everybody has like technical issues and technical mistakes and all that stuff. And then we kind of trying to changing it. But after like playing years in volleyball, it's just hard to change right away. And then you get worse at it at first, and then you have to climb back again to that level where you were, and then get better. But we didn't kind of had time for it because it was already September, and then we play in October, and you have only a month, and that's not enough. So yeah, for example, I don't know, they kind of asked us to pass differently, and volleyballs here are totally different because we play with Mikasa, and here we play with molten balls. Okay. So molten is kind of lighter. You don't have to really push to pass it. You don't have to have body movement at all. And it doesn't kind of, when you serve the float, it doesn't like wave around or wiggle around, however you want to call it. But however, with molten balls, you have to be more steady, more kind of, I don't know, calm when you pass the ball, when you kind of contact that ball. So that was kind of the difference. But style overall, I don't even, you just play your own game. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
volleyball is volleyball, right?
That's right. We've got Jovan Stepanović joining us here right now. We're talking to him about the move to Canada to play volleyball here for the Rattlers. And okay, so as an outside hitter, talk a little bit about the relationship with the setter and how important it is, because I'd imagine that it is so important to communicate with them verbally and mentally and just be on that same wavelength. How do you create that kind of chemistry with a setter when a team is put together so quickly?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I'm a lefty. So as an outside lefty, left side, however you want to call it, it's kind of hard because I don't let setter I don't give them too much room for mistakes, which is on me again. Like, sure. It's not my fault again, but it's hard, you know? So Nicola, I was struggling to kind of explain to him what balls do I need, and then Nicola was really trying to adjust to me, and last year was Ethan, so he really tried to adjust to me, and you kind of work it out, even though if the ball is not perfect, if he has if setter has an energy and he's willing to kind of set you the ball how you want it, you know what I mean? If he's willing to make it good for you, even though it's not, like, I appreciate that, you know what I mean? So the setter doesn't have to be perfect setter. The setter just has to have the motivation for swinger, has to give him advices if he has 1 block, 2 blocks on it. For example, if he plans on to set to me, before the play or the point, he will just say, "This ball goes to you. I believe in you." You know what I mean? Even though it's not perfect, you have that kind of momentum. You gain that motivation. So that's what I like with setters, and yeah.
So
that
So
way.
to build that chemistry though, do you spend a lot of time with that setter off the court and just even doing non-volleyball things just to kind of get on that same wavelength? Is that something that happens?
Not necessarily. It
No?
doesn't really mean to how you have to kind of um, hang around off the court so you can build that chemistry.
Okay.
It's just kind of natural, but you build it with talking and positive kind of feedback. And the thing that I appreciate, even though like Keandre last year, I
Hmm.
really appreciated that guy because when he last year, when for example I do something that he doesn't like, and he doesn't hide his emotions behind it. He doesn't say, it's all right. He doesn't kind of trying to act nice. He tells me how he feels. So I really respect that with players. So
Exactly.
even I really respect that, and that is how you build your chemistry. You're being honest to your teammates. You're talking with them. Um, you're talking about volleyball off the court. You're kind of planning. You're always thinking about how can you improve your game. How can you improve your kind of actions, your plays, whatever.
Hmm.
So it definitely needs time to build that chemistry because I had a great chemistry with my team back at home, but it was really tough conditions. There was like six of us, seven of
Hmm.
us, the whole team. We had six balls. For two of them had like a bubble. However, you cannot play with them. So we had
Okay.
four balls for like six players, and we have that coach that I mentioned.
Hmm.
And we were losing games one year, second year, and then third year we were like no, we were fourth on international club championship. But there was just seven of us, you know what I mean? So we eat together, we sleep together, we talk about everything together. You don't hide anything from them. If you have something to tell them,
Hmm.
if it's like an argument, whatever it is, you just tell them. You don't try to act kind of too much like too nice
Hmm.
because it doesn't feel really good. You don't talk behind their back. You tell them everything in their face.
Yeah.
So they respect it, you respect it, and over time, it kind of builds up that chemistry.
That's
That's what
awesome.
I believe in.
Yeah. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So, how was your adjustment to Canada band? I mean, there's probably so much that's different. I mean, the English that you learn, we probably talk a little bit different than the English that you learned. The food, the currency, everything about it. How has the adjustment to Canada been for you?
Um, I mean, we learn English like since like from grade one,
Hmm.
and you play a lot of like video games. You watch movies, so that English kind of, if you really want to learn it, it builds into your kind of, I don't know, it's like second language. It's like kids that are born in uh, Germany but have Serbian parents, so they know both of the languages like perfect.
Right.
So it's kind of like that, but rest of the things, it is different. Like it's totally different. Houses look like from movies, you know what I mean? It's not. It's just unreal. When I got here, it was like unreal. You have perfect perfect cut lawns. Yeah, everything is in line. You have blocks. You don't have curvy streets, and it's different.
Yeah.
Food here, I haven't. The only thing I tried here is sushi. The only thing that I haven't tried before, and food in Serbia is pretty much kind of I don't know how to say that, but we eat everything. We eat
Right.
everything. So yeah, but the overall experience is just how you live, the
Yeah.
houses, the like your backyards.
Hmm.
Um, you have a lot of SUVs, a lot of pickup trucks. Um,
Whereas back home,
so
it's all Skodas and small cars, right? Sorry, not Skodas. What's the name of the car again? Fiat.
Skoda. Oh,
Fiat.
Fiat.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fiat.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of those kind of
Yeah.
cars. You don't have a lot of trucks. You don't have a
Yeah.
lot of those
Exactly.
big ones with like 500 horsepowers. So yeah, that was totally different.
All right. Jovan, time now for show and tell. We always like to have our guests show us something that they might have. It could be like a medal from their volleyball playing. It literally could be anything at all that has a
Okay,
story attached to it. So what do you
so
got for us?
I have a picture of me when I was, I don't even know. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, which
This
one are
is
you?
me right here.
Oh, just a little guy.
Yeah. So that was kind of the second grade, I think, or even third.
Okay.
So this was my first coach. Um, I spent a couple of barbecues this summer with him. Like I still talk to him. He's a great guy. Um, so all these guys you see here, nobody plays volleyball anymore.
Mhm.
Nobody. So this was like the picture that I found in like school newspapers when I was like eighth grade, and I decided like to cut it out and just have it as a if I continue playing volleyball.
Mhm.
So then I kind of put it in like picture frame, so I have it as a like reminder that I don't know. I started when I was a really a
Mhm.
kid. So yeah, that's the thing. I don't know what could I show you the other
No,
things. I
that's
don't have
good.
any medals with me, but I have two medals from Balkan Championship and some beach
Yeah.
volleyball tournaments, but nothing special.
So, is this the end of your volleyball time, your time here in Medicine Hat, or is there a chance that you could go back and play pro and really continue from there? What do you think the prospects are for you volleyball wise?
Um, I really hope I can play after I finish my diploma or degree.
Yep.
I really hope that I can go and play pro because that's my dream when I was like a kid, since I was a kid. But however, if I can't, if I don't know, something stops me, or if I get a good job or something like that, I would like just to stay in sport. You know what I mean? Even if it's like I don't know, conditioning coach, like manager, whatever it is.
Hmm.
I just want to stay in sports because sport basically kind of raised me as well. It kept me
Exactly.
off the streets. It kept me off the bad things. Which, for example, my friends that are my age are now facing. You know what I mean? Like Friday night, they go out, they go in clubs. I come back from practice. Saturday,
Hmm.
I have a game. I come back late at night. They go to clubs. They have a nightlife. So that kind of kept me off it kept me in the good direction, as I
Hmm.
can say.
Awesome.
So yeah, I would really like to stay in sports.
Yep. So, has your girlfriend ever come here? Has she been to
No,
Canada at all?
no, I hope really so she can come next summer.
Okay.
That's our kind of plan. If she finishes her academics in time, I would really like her to come here because I think she would like it
Hmm.
as much as I did. And she played volleyball as well. She was really good. She was in like national team camps, and she was playing pro as well. And then when she graduated high school, it's this exact same thing. Either you go and play volleyball or you go to study.
Hmm.
So she is now in civil engineering. But I told her if they like see her highlights or something like that, they would 110% invite her here so she can play. But her main problem is she doesn't speak English, like maybe 10%, 15%. So I told her like she can go like English for academic purposes or something like that, so she can play a year or two here for experience.
She can
You
pick
know?
that up so easily,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It'd be no big
Um,
deal. What's her
yeah,
name? What's her name?
Alexandra.
Alexandra, you should come here and play. We
I,
need I mean, we got a good team for the women, but I'm sure they could find a spot for her and she'd be the all-star
that's
of the team, right?
exactly that's exactly what I'm saying. She should come here and play. That's for sure.
All right. Jovan, thank you so much for your time. Final question. Who should we get on an upcoming Rattler vlog? I want you to suggest someone either from your team or just someone associated with the Rattlers that would be great at this interview.
Let me just think about it for a second. I would say so you can bring Nikola as a third Serbian,
Okay.
but if you don't want to bring third Serbian, that's okay. That's fine. But you should definitely call him, invite him because he is so funny. Like you would have a great time with him.
All right.
Um, or if maybe let me see the other guy. You can decide between them. You can invite who's kind of interesting. You should invite. Um,
You know who has been avoiding us? Coach.
who
Coach has been avoiding us. I don't know why.
you should invite. You should invite Coach.
Yeah?
He would be great for us. So I can hear what he thinks about us.
Ah, there you go.
That would be a good question. Yeah.
All right. Jovan, thank you so much. All the best to you and your family, and I hope they stay safe back in Serbia. Send them our best. In fact, they're probably watching it right now. Thank you
I
for.
don't really think so. It's too late.
You don't think so? Well, they'll watch it on YouTube later.
That's true.
Anyways, thank you for allowing your boy to come here, even though you had no say in the matter at all. He already made up his mind he was coming here. Thanks for
Yeah.
letting him come. We appreciate it. Jovan,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
All
Thank
right,
you
take
very
care.
much.
All right.
Bye.
All right, there he goes. Jovan Stepanović joining us now on the Rattler vlog. That's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow and Wednesday. I think maybe even Thursday. We've got a busy week for the Rattler vlog. So, on behalf of Jovan, thank you for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.